Hello everybody and welcome to another video. Today we're going to look at the classic town theme. So I've got 70s, 80s and 90s Lego to look at. Lots of sets, let's get into it. So if you haven't been watching any of our series so far, I purchased 25 kilos or 55 pounds worth of unsorted Lego. It's that stuff there. And slowly but surely I've been working my way through it. Now I was given 82 vintage sets instruction manuals, all from the 70s, 80s and the 90s. And I've been really curious to kind of work my way through it and see what parts we have. And it turns out we're about halfway through now. And actually, I think we haven't had to order almost any parts, maybe 10 parts total in all of the sets that we've got so far. And it's been a really exciting, enjoyable experience, and it's brought my love of vintage Lego back again. So it's been really fun to do it. Now, today I've got 8 instruction manuals here, and I always keep my instruction manuals not folded, not hole punched, always in plastic wallets. And I've got 8 here, and I've got, if I can grab the box, 8 sets. Now what I want to do is I found this really stupid roulette thing online where you can just kind of put all your things in and it clicks and it randomly selects something. So I thought that's what we do today. I've got 8 instruction manuals, I've got 8 sets in their bags, all ready to go. And I figure we just let the computer decide, we build them and we see what happens. The other thing that I've done is, for some reason, I fancy doing stop motion. I downloaded a stop motion app and I thought I'll give it a go. Now this is going to be horrible. Here's your warning. It's not going to be good stop motion. I apologize. But what it does do is maybe possibly show you the building process of all of these amazing vintage sets and maybe, just maybe, make you smile once or twice. Anyway, let's get into it. Let's find some sets to build. So I'm going to be off camera for a little bit. I mean, I'm going to be here, but I don't want to put my face in it because honestly, nobody needs to see that nonsense. But I'm just going to clear up the instruction manuals and show you what's in this box. So what I do, this is the same with every single set that I kind of pick and set. So what I do is I've got my label there, which then tells me the set number, the name, the number of minifigs and the year of the thing and a picture, just so I know exactly what's inside. So then what I do, we open it up and I'll pour it out and I'll show you what is in here and how I pack everything. So what we have here is the base plate and any extra large plates. So I make sure that those sit there. And then I have kind of bits and pieces, so that's the main build of the set. I have any sort of parts that could get scratched. So this is printed parts, or this is kind of glass panels, or that sort of stuff. So they go in their own protective, so they don't get scratched or anything like that. All minifigures go in their own bag as well, so the printing doesn't get scratched, and also so their little accessory always stays with the minifigure. So this little waiter, he's got his lovely little printed torso and he's got his tray and his glass there. And then in this particular set there's a couple other figures, and then there's some green elements as well, which I also keep together because I know that's going to make up the trees and it's going to be easy to find in the build. We also have here in this set a few other minifigs, and then I've got this cute little parrot as well. So that's kind of how I pick, pack, select, and then finalize my sets once I've picked them all, and how they're basically stored and looked after in this house while they're either waiting to go into the vintage city that we're going to build or to be sold if I don't need them. But all of the sets you see today, I think I'm going to keep because they're blooming amazing. But as you can see here, you've got, they all have the same sticker, they're all packed in the same way, and they're all looked after incredibly well. Dust-free, scratch-free, because that is the most important part about any Lego storage, is making sure that you don't get them scratched and that they're organized and nothing gets lost. Right, let's get onto the computer, let's click this button and let's find some sets to build. Okay, so here we are on the spinner. We've got the, let's have a look here, 1970 fire station, 1978 Shell service station, the 79 police headquarters, the 1983 police station, the 1987 Motor Speedway, the 1990 Breezeway Cafe, 1990 Fire Control Center, and the 1996 Indy Transport. That is what is on here, and then we might as well click the spin and let's get going. Okay, here we go. Okay, so first one up is going to be the Motor Speedway from 1987. That's set number 6381. Now, this set's got 205 pieces, 5 minifigs, 2 unique to this set. And on BrickLink, you can probably pick one of these up in pretty good condition for about 400 krona, which I'll put just down below in local currencies. This is a wonderful entry-level set into vintage Lego. You have 5 wonderful minifigs, 2 unique to the set. You've got this print element here on the cameraman. You've got some other lovely print elements, including the numbers and the tiles up on the top. You have in the control center, you have the printed 2x2 slope element as well. And you get the infamous blue jack, which I'm telling you is incredibly pricey by itself. But it comes with this set. Now, all in all, if you include the wonderful car builds as well, very simple. I think this is a great example of something that you can build very quickly, have in a collection. It displays very well, and I think it's a wonderful, wonderful addition to anybody's vintage Lego collection. Right, should we spin the wheel one more time and see what we get next? Let's go. Right, my guess is a fire station of some kind. Just past that one. And then we are Indy. No, just squeezed onto the police headquarters. The 1979 set, so that's 381. Now this set comes with 372 pieces, 4 minifigs, and retails for on BrickLink for about 900 krona. Again, just down below for the local currencies. Now, this is how I separate and get ready to build a vintage set. So I make sure that everything's separated into part type and color. And if I've got the space, normally I do, because 300, 400, 500 pieces max for these sets. So it's always worth trying to get everything separated to make the building a little bit easier. Now let's have a look at these instructions, because they are amazing. They are in fantastic condition for being 45 years old, nearly 1979. So I just want to show you kind of how the reason why I keep everything in plastic and why I don't hole punch and why I don't, it's so you get this level of quality. Now the folds are still very rich, very true. And then once we open it out, we manage to get all of the building sections just there. Now, the way they used to do it is essentially layer by layer. They give you a build layer by layer until you reach the top of the building, and then they put the roof on. Now, this is quite a legitimate technique, especially when you've got such little parts. And then when you go onto the other side, you have the mini builds for the vehicles as well. But I don't know why, but the instruction manuals are just as important to me as things like minifigs and the sets themselves. Absolutely wonderful, especially in that condition. So after that high quality stop motion, let's have a look at this set. So inside we've got the offices on the right hand side, and on the left hand side, I think that's supposed to be the jail cell for the police station. And then on top we have the helicopter and the little guy that's just raising up and down. Then we have the mini builds. We've got the brick built motorcycle and car, all of which are adequate, but not fantastic, but very much amazing for the time. Now, don't forget, this is a 1979 set. This is not a modern day set. And it's the charm of those motorbike handles and things like that that make this set what it is. Absolutely wonderful build. Not as amazing as modern day sets, but certainly nostalgic and brilliant. Let's move on to the next one. So, what are we going to get next? I am hoping for... Oh! Shell Service Station 1978, set number 377. Well, this comes with 179 pieces, 2 minifigs, and again on BrickLink we're looking at approximately 700 krona for this. Quite a wonderful little set. Let's enjoy this stop motion. Now, this is a wonderful set, especially for the day. I really enjoy these old Shell sets. Now, the first thing you may notice is that it doesn't have the ropes on the pumps, but let's have a look at this vehicle first. The translucent parts. So we have a 2x4, a 2x2, and a 1x2 translucent parts on this, and the original print element on the front bumper. Absolutely fantastic. Now in the shop area, very simple builds, just portraying coffee machines and 1x1 bricks and tiles, portraying everything in there. You can see the rope, the original rope that's there in the bag, which is for all of the pumps. And this is a wonderful set, and I actually think you could probably build on this set a little bit and create it to be a little larger and a little bigger for a city or town. Anyway, moving on. Next spin. What are we going to land on now? Breezeway Cafe. Now this is set number 6376 and it has 183 pieces, 5 minifigs, and at the moment you'll probably pick one up in really good condition for about 900 krona, or obviously the numbers below. Now this set has 2 stars. The first one is obviously the large palm tree with the large palm leaves and the parrot sitting on top. Absolutely wonderful little build. They don't make them like this anymore. Now the next one is the large windows. It's got the sticker elements of Restaurante, or restaurant as we would say, and those are large windows. I do love the lady's red hair. I think it's the first time I've seen red hair from this age. And I've got to say, it makes a huge difference with the contrast and adds with all the other red bits in there. Now, the kitchen area and bar area is great and nice little mini builds, and you get the mini arches for the front entrance as well. All in all, it's a great set. It's, again, something that you could probably build on and turn it into a 32x32 and double the size of the restaurant. You could probably add a few other bits as well. But with the palm trees and the colours, I think this is a wonderful set and really something that will look fantastic in a city, even if you don't expand on it, and certainly looks great on display. Right, let's click, find out what we can do next. Okay, Fire Control Center from 1990. That's set number 6389. This has a large amount of pieces compared to other sets. It's 533. Has 4 minifigs, 3 of them unique to this set, and that means that if you want one of these on BrickLink, it's going to cost you 850 krona. First impressions are always that these much newer sets, so this is from 1990s, obviously much more detailed than some of the other sets. The doors look fantastic and the mini builds are great. The helipad on top just stands out and looks phenomenal. And then you've got the printed pieces in the main control center. Not forgetting the little coffee station on the left-hand side. Like that a lot. It's a great little mini build. Then we move on to the main front section. So you have the printed piece at the very top with the 2 axes and the helmet, and you get the 2 translucent blue, light blue, angled sections for the windows. You then have the other translucent blue skylight and the main satellite. Now let's move on to the mini builds. So these are very standard but very nice, finished much nicer than some of the 80 sets. This one is really interesting. I like this. It's got a kind of hidden feature. So you open the door at the top, the 2 at the front, and then you get the angle plates which then move down the hose so you can then fire the water out of there. It has some good print elements on there as well, and all in all looks fantastic. Really, really good one there. Then if we move over to the helicopter is again a basic build, but still really, I like the interesting nature of it. I love the arched window as well, and of course the minifigure can fit in there, unlike other sets which I will show you later. Let's have a total look at this set. Now, obviously the sliding doors and the garage areas are large and they fit all the mini builds vehicles, and they are great. And honestly, this one is almost to me a complete set that would sit in a classic town city. We may add a little bit to this in the future in our city, but for now I would say this is a wonderful example. Okay, let's click and figure out what we're going to get next. Well, we haven't had enough fire stations, so we're going to go to the 1970 fire station. That is set number 347. Now, this has 320 pieces, no minifigures. They didn't have those. Well, I think they did, but I don't think they were in this style. I think they had just the original minifigure kind of 2 blocks, so little legs and no arm bodies. But there's certainly none in this set. And if you want this set, then you can pick one up for about 600 kroner. Now, I want to show you all the parts of this set because it is completely different to all the others. Now, some genius has decided to Tipex or maybe whiten the blocks where you're supposed to build, and it's got a really interesting 24 by 32 curved edged base plate. Very odd, but very interesting. Now let's move on to the tiles. Now the tiles are great. Now don't let anyone tell you there were no tiles back then. There definitely were tiles. It was just the tile without the groove. So it's these very, very rigid square light grey tiles. Now if you want some of these, go onto BrickLink and have a look how expensive they are. If you want a good one in good condition, it's about 5 kroner. I'll again put the things below. Now let's have a look at these trees. Now these are amazing. These molded kind of, it feels to me like they just stuck some glue in the ground and then put these tiny little bits of rubber plastic and then just dipped it in and kind of made a tree, and it looks absolutely wonderful. The flag, again, from sets back in the day, they used to have these flags on every single set, and this one's in pretty good nick. It's got a little dink there, but it still looks pretty great. The windows from back then as well, they're completely different to the modern day windows. So they've got these little interlinking, there you go, you can see them there. So essentially you can just click them on the top, or you can slide them in, completely different to the kind of clutch power brick windows that we get these days. My stop motion driving is definitely getting better. Anyway, let's have a look at these vehicles. So to start with, they have the original 1970s wheels on and the clear screen and the 1x4 brick that is printed and in fantastic condition. The same with the ambulance. We have this slope, we have the printed piece at the front, and then we have the trans 2x4 and 1x4 in the back area, and again all in, you know, for being 1970, phenomenal condition. All of these have those original wheels, as I said. Now the fire truck is fantastic. It's got the little doors on the left and the right hand side. It has the ladder which goes up and down and straight out, which is, you know, the fact that it's in this condition is amazing. Again, has the original 2x4 trans bricks and has that printed element on the front, which is again in great condition. I can't stress enough, whoever looked after this, it must have just looked after it phenomenally well, because these are in wonderful, wonderful condition. Now, built like this, I would never change this. I would never add anything to it. This is a set amongst itself. Anything that I would do is I might create a nice little 1970s corner where I have a few of these classic sets on display there. I love the flag sticking out the top as well, loud and proud. This is Lego. And honestly, it's fantastic Lego. Right, let's spin one more time and see where we end up. police station from 1983. That's set number 6384, 389 pieces, 4 minifigs, and one of these will cost you about 1,000 krona on BrickLink. Let's watch this amazing stop motion again. Let's start by taking a look at the motorcycle. Now, it's a molded piece, but it does have the print elements on the left and the right on the 1x2 tiles, and it also has the print element on the windscreen. A fantastic element, one that I imagine probably costs quite a lot of money. Now, this is the one that I want to take a look at because this is very interesting. Now, this chap here, he is sitting in the car, you think, but he's not actually sitting in the car because he's not sitting on his chair. Now, if you actually go and get the chair and you put the chair in, and this is part of the instructions, I can show you if you want, but this is definitely part of the instructions. You put him in his chair and then you put the top on. He doesn't fit in his car. Now, this surely is a design fault or something went wrong, or I don't understand it. Have I done something wrong? I'm really curious. Let me know in the comments if I've done something wrong there, but I'm fairly certain that's correct, and I don't, and to the instructions, it's definitely correct. Anyway, this little police helicopter is my favorite. The front that opens up like that is phenomenal, and honestly, the build of this is just, love it. This is why we love vintage Lego. It has the garage door that goes up, and it has the original blue and clear ones. If we look into the office, we have the inverted 2x2 slope and the normal 2x2 slope at the top, and the telephone as well. Then we've got the little prison area in the bottom. Absolutely great builds there. Then it's got the 2x2 slope I'm guessing that's the computer that lets people into the prison. And then you've got the skylight area, and you've got kind of these flashlights that are on a swivel as well by the antenna. I think this is an absolutely wonderful set. I would probably add a extra little bit on a side base plate or add a back to it or something like that in the city. I may well add this to some sort of area that has maybe a fire station or a hospital or something, but I absolutely love it. It's a brilliant set, and one that I will definitely be keeping. Right, last spin. I guess we are definitely on the Indy Transport. So this is the 1996. So this is the newest set of all. This is set number 6335, as you could see earlier. 397 pieces, 3 minifigs. The white one is actually completely unique, and this might be either the best or the worst stop motion I've done of the year. So enjoy this one. I think I'm getting a little bit overconfident with that stop motion. I might just not bother with stop motion again over the next few videos. Anyway, we'll see. I quite enjoyed it, to be honest. Anyway, these mini builds that make up this entire set. The first one is the truck, and I gotta say, the king of this is the stacks. Those stack exhausts are amazing. The chromed out, what a Lego element they are. Everything else on this truck is pretty basic. It's a simple build. You do get the sticker elements of the Octan logos on just behind the rear windows, left and right, and then you get the big Octan sticker on the top of the truck. If we have a look at the rear part of the truck itself, just behind that large Octan sticker, you get the workshop. In the workshop, you get various different things like tools, you get the blue jack, and you get a red trolley as well, which you'll see later on in the video, and you'll see the tools later on as well, but it just shows you how it's all inbuilt there. Really good design, something that I can appreciate an awful lot, especially from the mid to late 90s. Let's have a look at the vehicles now. Now, all 3 vehicles are completely identical. As I said earlier on, you've got 3 separate minifigures, the red and the blue aren't unique to this set. However, the white one is and looks spectacular. All three helmet designs are completely different, although the vehicles are the same. Now you get the printing element on each one with different numbers, and I've got to say, I actually really like the design of the car. I mean, we're talking genuinely 20 parts to make each car, something like that, maybe 25. Absolutely brilliant. Now you get the little lift, which allows the back of the truck to go up and stay up, which is a really, really nice little design touch. And now you can see inside the workshop area where you've got those spare tires and the tools, and obviously that hugely expensive blue jack. You can see the red trolley there as well, and you can see the whole set in one picture. Now, this is a reasonably iconic set. The Octane Indy Transport is a brilliant set, and it will set you back about 1,000 krona if you would like one. And I've got to say, this is going to take pride of place on the streets of my city. And there we have it. Another couple of days over of picking and building some amazing classic town Lego sets. I got to say, my hobby is soon turning into my passion. I am absolutely loving building these vintage sets, and I've got so much more in the pipeline. So next I've ordered a couple of big boxes, so we're going to do a box opening on the next video, or the one after that in the next couple of days. And this is all vintage Lego that I've bought from an amazing person here in Sweden. Then I've got 14 or 15 sets of the 16 or 8x16 base plates, all of the classic town houses. So from the 80s and 90s, you've got houses and you've got buildings and you've got stations and all sorts of stuff. And then I've got a classic town train system. So I've got the 9-volt system, and I've got the 12-volt system, I think it is, a really old one. And then I've got some other amazing sets as well, or train sets and all this sort of stuff. So we're going to do a whole train episode as well. I'm just super excited. I don't know if you can tell. I'm just super excited. Like, it's so much fun. Normal people will ask you to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that sort of stuff. I'm not going to ask you to do that. What I'll ask you to do is go to your local classifieds, find yourself some vintage Lego and build it. It just puts you in a better mood. It really does. It just puts you in a much better mood than kind of normal stuff. And I got to say, I am really, really enjoying my vintage Lego journey, and I cannot wait to share everything that's coming in the pipeline. Now, I am going to put all of this stuff into my vintage city. If you don't know about this, I'm going to build a Lego town, but I'm going to use the sets, but I'm going to use parts pre-year 2000, so the old dark grey, the old light grey, so the original colours, and I'm going to create a Lego city, not in the way of Brickcrafts or Brixie or Bevan's Bricks. I'm not hyper-realism. We're still going to keep it vintage, and we're going to use vintage parts, but we're going to do a nice big town, a nice big city, but not just put all the base plates together. We're going to create something, and I cannot wait to show you that in the new year as well. So yeah, loads going on, but yeah, as I say, do yourself a favour, go and find some classic vintage Lego in your classifieds, build it, puts you in a better mood, and life is wonderful when you're in a better mood. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. You take care, and I'll see you very soon. Bye-bye!